The Great Reset. In Formula 1, dominance never lasts forever. Ferrari was untouchable until they weren't. Mercedes was invincible until the rules changed. Red Bull is crushing it, but the clock is ticking. Mark the date in your calendar. 2026. This is not just a new season. This is the biggest reboot in the history of the sport. The FIA is taking the current rulebook, dousing it in gasoline, and lighting a match. We're talking about the cars that shapeshift whilst driving. Engines that are half-electric rocket ships. The return of the screaming exhaust noise. And brand new manufacturers like Audi and Ford joining the grid to fight the old guard. But there is a dark side. Some drivers are terrified, engineers are panicking, and simulations suggest these new cars might handle like Frankenstein monsters. Is F1 about to enter a new golden age? Or have they just engineered a billion-dollar disaster? Buckle up, we're going deep. Here's everything, and I mean everything, you need to know about the 2026 regulations. The problem: why change? First, we have to ask why. Why change everything when the racing is actually getting pretty good? The answer is simple. The current cars are fat. They are the heaviest, longest, and widest cars in F1 history. Drivers call them boats. Lewis Hamilton compares them to driving a bus. They weigh nearly 800 kilograms. In Monaco, they are so big they literally cannot overtake because the track isn't wide enough. Plus, the engines, while incredible pieces of engineering, are too expensive and too quiet. F1 had a problem. They needed to get smaller. They needed to get louder. And they needed to be greener to keep the manufacturers happy. So, the FIA came up with a concept called the nimble car. It sounds cute, right? But achieving it required rewriting the laws of physics. Part 2. The engine. The heart transplant. Let's look under the hood. This is the biggest change. The power unit. We are keeping the 1.6 litre V6 turbo, but everything around it is changing. Change number 1. The MGU-H is dead. Ding dong, the witch is dead. The MGU-H, motor generator unit heat, is being removed. This was the incredibly complex, expensive part that harvested energy from the exhaust gases. It was also the part that acted like a muffler and killed the sound. With the MGU-H gone, the turbo can spin freely. The FIA promises the new engines will be significantly louder. Not V10 loud, but way better than the vacuum cleaners we have now. Change number 2. The electric explosion. To make up for losing the MGU-H, the hybrid system is getting a massive steroid injection. Currently, the electric motor gives you about 160 horsepower. In 2026, it jumps to a massive 470 horsepower. That's a 300% increase in electric power. The engine is now a near-perfect 50-50 split. 50% internal combustion, 50% battery. You're basically driving a Tesla strapped to a rocket. Change number 3. The fuel. This is huge for the world, not just F1. The cars will run on 100% sustainable fuel. We aren't talking about ethanol made from corn. We're talking about drop-in synthetic fuel created in a lab using captured carbon from the atmosphere. It is net zero. It means the internal combustion engine can stay alive without killing the planet. This is the specific rule that convinced Audi to join the sport. Part 3. The override mode. There's a catch. Because the electric motor is so powerful, the battery drains fast. Like, really fast. In the early simulations, cars were running out of juice halfway down the straight. It was a disaster. So, F1 invented a solution, the manual override mode. This is the new tactical weapon. Here's how it works. Currently, we have DRS, drag reduction system. You get within 1 second, you open the flap, you pass. Easy. In 2026, DRS changes. Now, if you're close to the car ahead, you get a boost of electrical energy. It works like the mushroom in Mario Kart, or the push to pass in IndyCar. As the lead car runs out of battery at high speed, around 290 km per hour, their power starts to taper off. But the attacking car? They can hit the override button and keep the full 470 horsepower electric deployment all the way to 355 km per hour. It turns the end of the straight into a game of chicken. Drivers will have to manage their battery life lap by lap. If you use all your energy defending on lap 10, you might be a sitting duck on lap 11. It adds a massive layer of strategy. Part 4. Active Aero. Now, let's talk about the bodywork. This is the part that looks like science fiction. Active Aerodynamics. We have had DRS on the rear wing for years, but in 2026, the front wing moves too. The car will have 2 distinct modes that the drivers will switch between constantly. Mode 1, Z mode, high downforce. This is for the corners. The front and rear wing flaps open up steeply. They grab the air, pushing the car into the track for maximum grip. You can corner like a demon. Mode 2, X mode, low drag. This is for the straights. As soon as the driver exits the corner, they engage X mode. The front wing flaps flatten out. The rear wing opens up wide. The car becomes slippery, drag disappears, top speeds skyrocket. The driver is basically reshaping the car multiple times per lap. Why do this? Because these new engines rely on electricity. They need the car to be slippery on the straights to save energy. Without active aero, the new engines wouldn't work. The car would be too slow. And the best part? The cars are physically smaller. 20 centimeters shorter, 10 centimeters narrower, 30 kilograms lighter. Finally, they might actually fit through the chicane at Monaco without rubbing wheels. Part 5. The risks and the players. So, it all sounds great on paper. Smaller, louder, faster, greener. What could go wrong? A lot. Risk number 1. The Frankenstein handling. Max Verstappen tested the early 2026 model in the simulator. His review? Not good. He said he had to downshift gears on the straight just to recharge the battery. Imagine doing 200 miles per hour and shifting down to 4th gear. The FIA says they fixed this with the new rules, but the fear remains. If the regulations aren't perfect, the cars could feel terrible to drive. Risk number 2, the engine gap. This is a brand new engine formula. That means someone is going to get it right and someone is going to get it wrong. Remember 2014? Mercedes nailed the hybrid engine and dominated for 8 years. We could see that again. And look who it is entering the ring. Audi is building their own new engine from scratch. A massive gamble. Red Bull is leaving Honda to build their own engine with Ford. If Red Bull gets this wrong, Max Verstappen might leave Formula 1. Honda is moving to Aston Martin. It's a global reshuffling of the deck. The team that's winning in 2025 might be at the back of the grid in 2026. So, here's the verdict. 2026 is the biggest gamble F1 has ever taken. They're trying to balance entertainment, sustainability, and technology all at once. If it works, we get nimble cars, screaming engines, and a 5-way fight for the title. If it fails, we get slow cars that run out of battery. I need your predictions. With Red Bull building their own engine for the first time, do you think they'll stay on top? Or is 2026 the year Ferrari or Audi takes over the world? Drop your 2026 World Champion prediction in the comments below. I'm reading all of them. If you enjoyed this deep dive, smash that like button so the algorithm knows you have good taste. Subscribe for more F1 tech explained simply. See you on the grid.